Every summer, football fans dream of blockbuster transfers that will change everything. Some work out, but others? They leave clubs scratching their heads, fans wondering where the money went, and players drowning under the weight of their price tag. Today, we count down the top 10 worst transfers of the 2025-26 season so far based on fees, performances, and expert opinion. And remember, this isn't about talent alone, it's about value, timing, and impact. Let's dive in. Let's start with Yoane Wissa, a Congolese international forward who joined Newcastle United this summer. Wissa made his name at Brentford after arriving from Lorient in France, gradually developing into one of the Premier League's most underrated strikers. Last season, he scored double digits in the league, which convinced Newcastle to splash around $55 million to bring him in. On paper, he was meant to add goals, versatility, and energy. But reality has been far harsher. Wissa picked up a knee injury almost immediately, sidelining him for weeks, and when he has played, the sharpness hasn't been there. Experts say he's a good player, but not one worth that kind of fee. For Newcastle, chasing Champions League football, this deal looks like a gamble that's already gone wrong. Next up, Nicolas Jackson, the Senegalese striker who burst onto the scene at Villarreal in Spain. Chelsea signed him in 2023 for around $32 million, hoping he would be their long-term number 9. But after inconsistent finishing and missed chances in London, Chelsea sent him on loan to Bayern Munich this summer for $15 million, with an option to buy. Jackson has the tools, pace, strength, dribbling ability, but his biggest weakness, finishing under pressure, hasn't gone away. At Bayern, a club that expects instant goals, he's already missed sitters that drew criticism from pundits and supporters alike. Experts say he's still young, but question whether Bayern needed a project striker rather than a proven scorer. Right now, Jackson looks like a talented player stuck in the wrong place at the wrong time. Matheus Cunha, the Brazilian attacker, has been on a winding journey from Coritiba in Brazil to RB Leipzig to Hertha Berlin, then a move to Atletico Madrid where his raw flair caught attention. Wolves brought him to the Premier League in 2023, and after some solid but unspectacular seasons, Manchester United swooped in this summer with a fee north of $60 million. That price suggested a ready-made game-changer. But Cunha has yet to find his rhythm at Old Trafford. His dribbling looks lively, but his decision-making and end product haven't matched the fee. Analysts say United once again overpaid for a player who flatters to deceive. For a club already under pressure to close the gap with City, this transfer feels more like desperation than vision. From another Manchester United signing comes Bryan Mbeumo, the Cameroonian winger. His story began at Troyes in France, then he moved to Brentford, where he became a Premier League standout, forming a deadly partnership with Ivan Toney. That form earned him a blockbuster move to United this summer for nearly $70 million. Expectations were sky-high. Mbeumo was supposed to bring pace, goals, and versatility, but so far he's been wasteful in front of goal and erratic in possession. Critics note that he thrives in counter-attacking setups, not in United's slower build-up. For Cameroon, he remains an important figure, but at Old Trafford, the jury is out. Fans already joke that the fee could have bought 2 solid players instead of 1 inconsistent one. Benjamin Šeško, dubbed the Slovenian Haaland, had the hype train rolling long before he arrived in England. Starting at Red Bull Salzburg, where he showed flashes of brilliance, then moving to RB Leipzig, he was tipped as one of Europe's next great strikers. Manchester United pounced, paying a massive sum to bring him in this summer. The problem? He's only 22, raw and still learning. For a mid-table project, that might be fine. But at United, he's expected to deliver now. Early matches have shown promise. His aerial ability and movement are there, but the goals are not. Pundits argue that the price tag has created pressure he cannot yet handle. With Slovenia, he's their star man, but in the Premier League, he looks more like a kid asked to play a man's role too soon. Arsenal's move for Viktor Gyökeres was one of the window's biggest gambles. The Swedish striker made his name at Coventry City before exploding at Sporting Lisbon, scoring over 40 goals in all competitions last season. That record convinced Arsenal to pay over $55 million to bring him to North London. The hope? He'd be the missing piece in their title charge. But critics quickly pointed out that Portugal's league is not the Premier League. So far, Gyökeres has struggled against top defenders, with his physical style less effective and his finishing less clinical. At 27, he's in his prime, but Arsenal fans worried they bought the wrong kind of striker at the wrong time. Swedish fans still believe, but in London, doubts are growing. From Sweden to Spain, we move to Martín Zubimendi, Arsenal's $70 million midfield signing from Real Sociedad. Zubimendi rose through the Basque club's academy and became one of La Liga's most consistent midfielders. Calm under pressure, technically clean and highly intelligent, he earned plaudits in Spain. But in England, expectations are different. Arsenal didn't pay $70 million for tidy passes, they paid it for domination. And so far, Zubimendi has looked neat but not transformative. Spanish fans argue he's underrated, but Premier League pundits see another expensive midfielder who may never live up to the hype. For Spain's national team, he's in the mix, but at Arsenal, the price tag looms larger than his performances. Another Arsenal entry is Noni Madueke. The English winger came through Crystal Palace's youth system before heading to PSV Eindhoven in the Netherlands, where his flair and trickery caught Chelsea's attention. He joined Chelsea in 2023 for around $35 million, but after limited success, Arsenal shocked many by spending over $50 million on him this summer. Madueke has raw pace and skill, but end product remains a glaring issue. At 23, he's still young, but Arsenal didn't pay $50 million for a maybe. They needed consistent goals and assists, and Madueke has yet to deliver. Analysts call this another case of Arsenal overpaying for potential when they needed proven quality. From Manchester United's academy to Nottingham Forest, and now to Newcastle United, Anthony Elanga's journey has been fast. The Swedish winger has always been praised for his work ethic and energy, but not necessarily his end product. Newcastle invested heavily to bring him in this summer, hoping he could be the wide threat to balance their attack. But so far, the results are underwhelming. Elanga struggles in decision-making and often fades in big matches. For Sweden, he's still considered a prospect, but in the Premier League, he looks like a squad player bought for star money. Experts warn that unless he finds consistency, this transfer will look like another waste of funds. And at number one, perhaps the boldest and most baffling transfer, Nick Woltemade. The German forward came through Werder Bremen's academy, showing promise as a tall, versatile attacker. Newcastle, however, paid nearly $90 million to secure his services this summer, a fee that stunned Bundesliga insiders. Even Bayern Munich officials openly criticized the deal as excessive. So far, Woltemade has looked raw, not refined. His physical presence is there, but his finishing and tactical awareness lag behind. For Germany's youth sides, he's been a regular, but for Newcastle's senior squad, he looks out of his depth. Experts call this the very definition of an overpay money spent on potential that might never materialize. And that's our list, the top 10 worst transfers of the 2025-26 season so far. Some of these players could still turn it around, injuries heal, confidence returns, and form can change in an instant. But right now, the experts agree these are the signings that clubs may already regret. Who do you think was the worst signing of the summer? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more football analysis. Thank you for watching.